What's a book that you've recently read that you'd recommend to our listeners?
I always hate this question only because I never want to answer just one book. So I love this question because it makes me want to say a million things. So I'm going to say three. The first one that I recommend to everyone I coach and mentor, as well as my students, is Brené Brown's Dare to Lead. Love this book, read it several times. It's so thoughtful in terms of who we are as leaders. And the number one takeaway is about integrating humility as a leader and being vulnerable. And the more vulnerable you are as a leader, again, whether you're a product leader or whether you're a CEO, founder, having that humility and understanding empathy for your employees and your customers, so critical. So I love that book. So I highly recommend that. The second one is The Psychology of Money. And it sounds very tactical, but it's actually quite interesting in terms of how we as human beings think about money and how it stems back to our childhood and our upbringing and how we bring that into our personal and professional lives. And it's an assigned book for my course as well. But I do see interactions, and you think about it right now, whether it's with your partners outside of work or inside of work, how we respond or react to how we spend money, our budgets, how we think about pricing, how we think about fundraising, all stems from our personal interactions with money and a lot of baggage that we bring in. So the book does a great job helping you understand that, as well as how to think about long-term goals and strategies around money. So then the last one I'll mention is Bird Girl, only because I am a birder. Became one during COVID. I know I'm not alone. There are a lot of people who've become birders since COVID, and it's not out yet. So shameless plug for a new book that's coming out. And it's written by a very, very young woman who's an environmentalist, and her story about how she became a birder at 6 years old and how she's still a birder. And it's just a fabulous story. So if you wanted something entertaining, that is one I'd recommend.
Those are all great recommendations. I'll have to check out the bird one and The Psychology of Money. I do love Brené Brown. She has a great podcast as well.
Yeah, she's unreal.